Hey everyone, Jeff here, and today I want to talk about something that can really transform your playing, and that is two-string scale fingerings. Kind of tired of playing the same old fingerings and feel like you're really not expanding across the fingerboard and then you're stuck in these boxes, these ideas will really help quite a bit. By taking these smaller chunks of scales, it helps with things like melodic sequencing, creativity, improvisation, and ultimately the way you visualize the fingerboard. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is start off with the G major scale. So the notes of G major are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. But what we're going to do first is to learn it on one string. So we're going to start on our high E string. And the notes of the G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, are going to now start on the E note. So we have E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Let's go up to that. And let's go back down. G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, and E. Okay, so it's important to see the scale on one string at a time. This is really essential. This is one of the hugest things I could talk about to open up your guitar playing and learn the fingerboard. One string at a time. The guitar is very confusing. We generally learn scales and positions, which is also very important, and you must do that, but sometimes it really locks us into that position. So I'm going to put on this track, I'm going to just play the G major scale over the top of this track. And I'm just going to improvise with it. I'm not going to worry about, playing this fast. I'm just going to play some music by just playing a G major scale on the high E string. So let's check it out. Now, if you're enjoying this video, it's from my latest course called Unlocking the Major Scale, a Creative Approach to Learning the Fingerboard. And in this course, I give you this, plus a whole lot more. I talk about 3-note per string major scales, 2-note per string major scales, string skipping, picking, legato, Eric Johnson style chord voicings, all that and more, plus ways to creatively practice guitar, exploring and having fun while doing it, working on your musicality, your note sequencing, melodic sequencing, all that. And it's on sale for a special price using the link above or below. Okay, back to the video. I think one of the problems when we're learning how to play guitar and learning scales is that we're taught just fingerings and play the fingering and then you're on your own. One thing that was really important to me that I discovered that you should always be thinking about music. So if I play this new scale fingering, or this one string at a time, I'm going to just start to try to play some music with it. I'm not going to try to compose the greatest solo in the world. I'm just improvising. Now let's do the same thing on the second string, which is our B string. So our notes are going to be B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, and D. I can continue to go further. Let's go back down. D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C, and B. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to jam over the track on the B string. pretty cool, doesn't it? So just experimenting. Okay, now what we're going to do is put those two strings together, and we're going to get 2 string groupings on just the top 2 strings using 6 notes at a time. So as you can see, the first thing I'm going to do is play B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. So I have this 6-note grouping. We could also bring that up the octave, right? So let's hear that. Sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? So I just have these 6 notes. But instead of just going da 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 da, right? I started to think about how I can mix those notes up in any combination. I'm thinking musically, but sometimes I'm just looking at that little fingering, even on the PDF, and going, oh, I'm going to play those notes. So I can just make stuff up. So I start to hear melodies as I go through this. And this is a really important thing. So I'm just isolating this little part. It's just 6 notes of a G major scale. So it's like this little enclosure of a G major scale. What's great about doing this is you're not thinking about this big scale and how am I going to use all these notes and what can I do with it? You're just concentrating on this little tiny area. All right, so let's kick it into high gear a little bit. We're going to take the same exact idea. We're going to take these 6-note fingerings on 2 adjacent strings. We're going to move up the fingerboard. So the first one we had was B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Next we have a C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. After that, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. G, A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, so you have that tabbed out. You can go through all that yourself. Just use that link above or below to get the free tab and notation. So let's hear those notes, just like that, over the background track. As you may have noticed, some of those positions sounded better than others over this chord progression. And there's a good reason for that. The chords I'm playing is a G to a C with G in the bass. So my notes in my G chord are G, B, D, and my C chord is C, E, G. Since those are the notes that are in the scale, there's certain pitches that are not going to sound great when we're resting on them. For example, the A is a pretty tough note, even on the G chord, right? Right, it wants to pull down to the root of the chord or up to the third of the chord. When I go to the C chord with the G in the bass, that A, not a great note, wants to resolve down, or go up to the root of the C chord, right? So use your ears, but if you use those things in passing, and resolve it down to the G or up to any other chord tone, use your ears. If it doesn't sound great, go 1 note usually in each direction and you're probably pretty good. The thing you could work on next, just for fun improv, is to pick one of those little boxes, right, those little positions, and improvise with that and see what combo of the notes that you can get within that little 6-note grouping, right? So let's try another one. Let's go right here. And run the track, and we can hear that. So as we sit in one of those positions and just start to feel our way through it, our ears start to get better. You start to know the notes of the fingerboard better. You're practicing music and you're practicing being creative by just experimenting and playing with it and trying to put aside the really critical side of your mind, like, oh, I'm playing the thirds and the fifths and all that. That's important. You do want to do that. But right now, I'm just freely improvising and letting my ears carry me. Oftentimes, you will start to hear a resolution in your ear, which sounds great. So for instance, if I did this G to B, which is part of my G chord. So there I heard sort of a G chord. Then I did like, here's my C chord, then to my G I ended on this. So in just that little melody, I heard ba 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 ba. So I outlined the chord changes of the G to the C. Now I could start to think about that, right? I played the root to the 5, then up to the 3 of the C chord, which is the E, to the root of the C chord, and then resolve down to the B, which is my third of my G chord. Yes, you want to get to that point, but right now, when I'm playing, I'm not thinking that. Just use your ears and see where those resolutions come. Then take note of it. It's really a fun way and creative way to improve your guitar playing. Now let's check out something called melodic sequencing, like I mentioned before. I'm going to take a pattern, and I'm going to take it through the scale fingerings that I've shown you. So let's take this pattern. All right, so I'm going to play B, C, E, G, F sharp. Now I'm going to the position prior to that and play the same exact melodic pattern off of that fingering. All right, I'm going to go down again to the position before that. Keep going. Keep going. I'm just going to edit on my root G. So the pattern. Let's hear that over the track. One more time. Okay, now let's make a little bit of music with that. I'm going to improvise and use that melodic pattern through the positions and kind of go in and out of it to make it a little less obvious. So this device is called melodic sequencing. As a listener, we really like a repeated pattern. It gives us something to latch onto. We can remember it easily. It's familiar to us. If a melody is always changing, then it becomes sort of amelodic, really, right? So many tunes do things like that, right? So by practicing these melodic sequences on these two adjacent strings using the scale, we work on many things. One, we're building up our arsenal of melodic ideas. We're understanding how the fingerboard functions. We can hear what some of those resolutions are. We are understanding the fingerboard better by learning the notes, and we're working on being more creative. By getting the idea of melodic sequencing together, it will start to work its way into your playing if you work on getting it into your playing. So you need to practice this. Just let this jam run and just have fun and improvise with it. Now, of course, we can take the same idea that we're doing in the top two strings, move it down to the G and B string, the D and the G, the A and the D, and the E and the A. So lots of stuff to work on, but just check out the top two strings first. It's just the easiest way to get into it. So thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it helped out. Don't forget, I have a full course on this called Unlocking the Major Scale, a creative approach to learning the fingerboard. I go through these patterns and more, one string at a time, 2-string major scales, 3 notes per string major scales, string skipping, how to practice all this stuff, and how to expand your vocabulary while having fun and working on your creativity. That's on sale for using the link above or below. Once again, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel quite a bit. And I will see you the next time.